Hi, and welcome to the second video in this series. This is Beginner Skills 2, Creating Topics and Adding Materials. So in this video, you will learn how to create a topic, the types of materials that can be added, how to understand Google Drive folder structure, and how to use consistent naming to find files quickly. Okay, here we are again. This is the research writing course that I created in the last video, and this is the stream, which is where we left off in the last video. For this video, which is all about creating topics and adding materials, where we're going to go next is this classwork tab here. So let's click on classwork. And you can see the interface here is very simple. At the beginning, if you have nothing, it tells you what you have, the kind of basic options you have. Assign work to your class, create assignments and questions, use topics, and change the order in which things are presented. What we're going to start with here is this create button. Now, often you will use this create button, and it'll give you some options to make an assignment, a quiz assignment, a question, a material. We're going to go to material first. I'm sorry, actually we're going to go to topic first. So a topic is sort of like a heading for a section in your classwork. So let's go to topic, and one topic where we often put materials, and this is common across most classes we teach, is a topic that's something like called something like course information. And we would put a syllabus or other important information here. So we'll create the topic, course information, and we just click add. Okay, so now you see we've got this topic, and it's basically like a heading. And once we put a post up, they can see the topic. Now we have these options. Get familiar with these three little dots, because that usually means click here to open a menu for some options. You could rename this anytime. Let's say you had a typo. You could rename it, you could delete it, or you could copy a link to it. I usually don't need to edit these. Later, when we have more topics, I might use these, move up and move down. Right now there's only one topic, so there's no option to move up or down. Okay, so next we're going to go into creating an actual material. We're going to put a syllabus in here, and there are various ways you could create a syllabus. You could click create and go to material, and you could say, you could type the title of the document in, the material in, syllabus, and then you could add a file that's already in your Google Drive. You could send a link to a file. You could link to a file on an external website, or you could attach a file from your computer. You could create a document fresh from within this material. You could create a document or a slides or a sheets, etc. I'm going to actually not do any of those things right now. Here's what I'm going to show you how to do. Many of you might well have a syllabus already made, and it's on your computer. I'm going to show you how to create that syllabus, put that into Google Drive, and create it as a Google document, and I'm going to explain how you do that and why it's a good idea. So I X that out. You know, it automatically saves it as a draft. So we'll save that. We'll keep it there because we can come back and edit that later. But what I'd like to draw your attention to right now is that when we make a new Google Classroom and it's associated with your Google account or your professional G Suite for Education account like my Wilmina, you automatically are given, it's automatically going to create a class Drive folder. So a Google Drive folder specifically for this class. If you click right here, class Drive folder, it's going to open it up for you. And you can see right now there are no files in there, but here's basically the file structure path. And I think this is important to draw people's attention to, because I have the impression some teachers get a little bit confused with the file structure, the document drive structure of Google Drive, because it's web-based, I think. So I'm going to ask that we go over here to Drive, And you can just basically see, I would normally click on My Drive. Priority is something I have set where it knows what I'm working on recently. But click on My Drive. And again, you have this quick access priority stuff, but what you really want to look at here is probably these folders. So when you make Google Classroom classes, Classroom will automatically make a folder called Classroom. So let's click on that. And these are all the folders for all the individual Google Classrooms that I am part of. And those are, I didn't create these. These were made automatically when a new Google Classroom was created. So I think that's a very nice feature. Now I found my research writing course. This is what we're working on. So I'm going to open that. And as you'll see, that's exactly the same place we were when we clicked this link right here. That's exactly where we were. So I hope that's a little bit helpful. Now we want to create something new, and we could go here and we could create a brand new document, but I'm going to suggest we go to File, Upload, because a lot of people probably already have a document of some kind. Mine are already usually in PDF form. So I'm going to search for Research Writing Fall 19 and syllabus. Okay, so I have, this is my syllabus. I would encourage you, when you whatever data storage system you use, whether it's cloud-based or on your computer, some people maybe already do that. A lot of people probably already do this, but as you can see, I have a sort of series of like organized ways I keep track of my files, and I have a naming scheme. RW is always research writing, and the way I want to search for something particular to a semester is always F or S for fall or spring, plus the year, 19 being 2019. This year it will be 20. But I want to upload this. So I'm gonna click Open. And Google's working on it, and it's in there. Now that's fine. We could just use that syllabus again, but probably we're going to want to update it. You know, a lot could have changed in a year, and so I'm going to suggest you right-click, and I'm going to suggest that you say Open with Google Docs. And it's going to take a moment, but it's going to extract all the content from that PDF into a Google document. And you can see sometimes when it does this, the formatting gets a little bit goofy. That's normal. I would just say take a little time to clean up the formatting. Let's see. I'm not going to do all that for you in front of you right now, I promise. But if you take the time to clean up some of the formatting, it won't really actually take that long. And the reason you would want to do it in a Google document as opposed to a PDF is very simple. Let me do one more change here. Well, I'm just going to keep it. Obviously, I know that it doesn't look that great. The reason I'm explaining that this is a good way to go is once you get this cleaned up, you can go back to your Google Classroom and you can edit this. You can edit this material. And so let's add it from Google Drive. Now Google knows that I've been working on this recently, and that it's called Research Writing Fall 19. I want to change this actually. I need to change this to be Fall 20. And okay, there's that. And I'm going to click on that and I'm going to say Insert. Now, you might be thinking, why would you do that? Because look at this thing. It's a mess right now. It's a total mess. Well, the reason I would do that is, have you ever made what you thought was the final version of a document, saved it as a PDF, shared it with all the students, and then you realize there's a typo? I've done that more times than I care to admit. If you share this as a Google document with Google Classroom, any edits you make to that Google document moving forward will be reflected in this document as it's shared with students. So you could be 3 weeks in the semester, realize there's a typo or something you need to add to the syllabus. You could edit this document here, and then when students click on this and look at this again online, it's going to be reflected. This is a very useful thing. Okay, so we have created this material as far as we've given it a name. We could give it a description if we want. We've added this document, and next we want to add it to a topic. We want to assign it to a topic. This is where it's going to be housed. This is home. We're giving it a home, and from here we could create a new topic. We could call it something else. We want course information. We could also give it no topic, in which case it would just appear at the top of the classwork page. But we're going to assign it to course information, and generally for this kind of thing you'd want all students to see it. If you were teaching more than one section of the same course and it had the same syllabus, you could go through and you could click all these classes that you are a part of, and you could add that syllabus to multiple classes at the same time. Okay, for this course I don't want to do that. I just teach one section. I don't want to do that. Now we could click post and it'll immediately be posted for students, but we can click this arrow here too, and we have the option to post it now, schedule it, or save it as a draft. Saving as a draft would just mean, let's just see what happens. It just means it's a draft. It's not scheduled for release and students can't see it. Now we go back and edit it. If I wanted to, I could schedule it, and I could say, okay, today's August 7th. I want that to come out on Monday at 8 a.m. because class starts at 9 and I want them to, for example, read it right before class. I could schedule it. It says it's scheduling, and then it's reflected here, scheduled for August 10th, 8 a.m. But actually what I really want to do is I really think I just want to X that out and I want to post it right away. It will ask me if I'm absolutely certain that I want to post that, because students are going to see the material in their streams immediately, and I'm going to click post. Yes, I do. I want them to have that right now. Okay, it's posted. You can see it's no longer grayed out. It's under this course information. It tells you what time you posted it, and you can always go back and you can edit it or you can delete it. But I think one of the very strong features here is that if you attach the syllabus as a Google document, let me go back and edit this. Let me make sure if there's a, yeah. I'm attaching it as a Google document. It's not an assignment. Students can't edit it. All they can do is view it. And the benefit for you is that as a document, a Google document, you can go back and clean this up, add things, edit things, delete things, and those changes will be reflected in real time in this document here that students see. So that's a really big benefit, and I recommend you do that. I think it's worth it. Okay, I think that's enough for this video. Okay, let's try it for yourself. I'd like you to consider creating a new topic in your course. Course information is a good topic necessary for most classrooms. And then in Google Drive, classroom/your classroom name, create a Google document version of your course syllabus. And finally, in Google Classroom, add your Google document version of your course syllabus as a new material under the topic course information.